Oh, hello. Welcome to today's Decay. We're celebrating births and beginnings and everything important since the dawn of time. January 31st edition. All day. And we're doing this year because, I realized I've basically done like three solid years of this. And so I have lots of really good content. Be it with the dog, or be it in the coffin, or be it with the dog in the coffin. Actually, that's never happened. Maybe one day. I like that I'm brainstorming live, right? Anyway, what's my point? That I was working on a list of things that would like add to my previous list, because I had this calendar that I've been working off of for a long time to create all this stuff we're talking about. And what it doesn't take into account is life, evolution, growing as an individual, and finding more and more fun things to talk about and expand your own world accordingly. Because things that I knew, say, when I made that original Monster Hop calendar nearly 10 years ago, I found other things since then. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's turn back the pages, shall we? Why, back to 1878, where on this day, William F. Heitman was born. I know. I don't know who that is. I barely know who that is myself, but I can tell you he drew some of the very early Weird Tales magazine covers, like this one here. What is this? Issue 2 or 3? Maybe even 4. The Evening Wolves, if you can see this here. Also, another one here, this is issue 3. I've got a lot of issues. Were you aware of that? I've got a lot of issues. It's a pretty good one for the Moon Terror, and he's responsible for a good deal of the very primitive but endearing line artwork that's all within Weird Tales really early on. Again, this is 1923 when Weird Tales first came out, where apparently he was the only artist they knew at the time, because he's the only one featured through here. It's all of this line artwork would be him. The birthday boy himself. For Jungle Beasts, whether or not you believe in reincarnation, you'll be thrilled by reading Jungle Beasts. Dun dun dun. Not really. I think that's a pretty good one, right? With a cat. I think so. Anyway, Weird Tales abound. Shake your Weird Tales. Johnny Lydon, born today in 1956. Modern questionable politics aside. And the fact that he looks very much like Jan Gall, the artist. I don't know what I'm saying here. It's fine. Yeah, I did meet him once. Carolina somehow got me into that punk poster art not private party. Well, I guess it was a private party. The opening party for the Museum of Art and Design punk poster situation, and Johnny Rotten was there, and walking over to the bar as I do, and there he was, and never in my life would I think I would just run into him. And I remember talking to him about how as a kid, in high school, I saw that Rotten TV, which I think was on Independent Film Channel, perhaps, and I remember really strongly how much of an effect it had on me. He was at Sundance Film Festival in the middle of the country somewhere, and he was meeting Nev Campbell and various Hollywood stars at the time, and he's like, "What's your name?" "I don't care." Cut the camera. Next. "What's your name?" "Oh, another Hollywood starlet." "Whatever, enough." And then he turns a corner and he's like, "Wait a minute, that's Danny DeVito," and he runs over to him, and immediately Johnny Rotten's whole persona of rawr, just melts away, and he's like, "Danny DeVito, I have so much to talk to you about. Tell me about this, tell me about that." And he's here's the person behind the persona, And I basically said all of this to him, and he just looked at me. I was like, "Huh, very nice to meet you. This is great." You could just tell he was like, "I love that show." And he said it. He's like, I said to him actually, "I love that show, and it was criminal that it got, I think, canceled after one season, because what was next? And this was really good." And he was genuinely touched, and that's because I had my hand on his shoulder. Yeah. What else? Rodney and the Host premiered today on Nightmare in 1958. This is a horror host that's really interesting. Looks almost like Charles Laughton in like Hunchback of Notre Dame, but then also like even somewhat like Dr. Moreau, Charles Laughton era. And like I don't know if he's like as creepy as they intended him to be, or if like the underlit black and white still available stills or content paired with it being like very like low res just like makes it look even more gruesome. But it's really good. Rodney and the Host, do check it out if you're unfamiliar. I think he went on, or maybe like his son, somebody went on doing this act for like decades. There's like definitely Rodney and the Host in the 80s, I think. Less charming because it's on like garish video, but whatever, it's all really good, no argument. Rodney and the Host. 1964 today, the Twilight Zone episode Black Leather Jackets premiered, which, like in hindsight, everything is about psychomania, and this is not psychomania, but should be. Everything should always be psychomania, except for the Ape Woman. This is the reason we're doing this year for sure. It's because I realized the Ape Woman premiered today in 1964, and I was lucky enough to see a screening of it at Lincoln Center. Was it May of this year? It may have been. It was like, 6-ish months ago or so. And what a picture by Marco Ferrari. And I love his drive because this movie was like almost like La Strada mixed more so with Freaks, because it's like a bearded woman and this guy who's like taking advantage of her. And yeah, I cannot suggest it enough. See this movie. We are going to watch it tonight on the day it premiered, January 31st, not 1964, whatever year this is, 2024. But first, Countess Dracula premiered today, 1971. Wonderful picture. Not what we're going to watch tonight. It's the Ape Woman all the way. We're out of our tree for the Ape Woman. Yeah, this lady. I don't want to even say too much about it. I was just amazed. Like, it's wild to think like how much is out there that you think you know the whole world, and then something comes around and reminds you, you were so wrong. The world is so much bigger than you thought. The Ape Woman. I'm not getting paid to say that. Till tomorrow. Maybe. Goodbye.